I mean,
that's such a powerful emotion. We can take anger and transform and work with it.
Yes. Well, don't forget. So, 2 days before Darren Wilson wasn't indicted for killing Mike Brown, the police in Ohio pulled up and killed Tamir Rice. And he was only 12 years old. I mean, they didn't even bother to get out of their car. And as a mother, it just really overwhelmed me with grief, and with Mike Brown too. Like, Mike Brown for me was like all of the young adults who I mentored doing this work of workforce development. And when his mom said, he was going to start college 2 days after he was killed, and that she never imagined that she'd be planning a funeral. As a mother, I just couldn't. I was like, what can I do? What can I do to prevent this from happening to any other mother? And that was kind of how it was that got me started.
That's so powerful.
Thank you.
And there are so many people that get angry about something, that get overwhelmed and upset and say, what can I do? And then go back to whatever they've been doing before. Mm-hmm. Do you think it was just a tipping point of anger, or did you have something that helped you out of the closet, so to speak, of hiding around this message? What is it that said, I'm going to come out into the world right now?
What's really interesting is that, like, literally the week after this brunch, I saw Bernard Coleman, the CEO of Kaiser Permanente, wrote a post on LinkedIn about being a very successful Black man, in his public career, but yet when he would go into a store, security would be following him and things like that. And he just wrote this very personal LinkedIn post about this experience. Mm. And that to me opened up the gate. Oh, this is what I can do. I can go on LinkedIn and I can just start blogging about, there's a lot of white people on LinkedIn.
That's true. Are you white and I'm not on LinkedIn?
So it's like I have this platform where I can speak to white people and speak to white people about the workplace, because I've always wanted to transform the workplace, because that to me is very important. I want young people of color to have amazing careers and be able to make good money, but not if they're going to be subjected to all this harm. So I wanted to transform the workplace.
Beautiful, yeah. And what is it that in this, I know you've gone on tour across the US with this message, hosting different workshops. I was actually at a workshop recently on interracial sisterhood in the 2020s. What is it inside of you? What is the feeling of stepping into even more leadership, stepping onto bigger stages, stepping into more publicity with this message, despite what you might hear from other white people? I can only imagine.
Well, it's not only white people, This is a lonely, becoming a anti-racist activist as a white woman can be very lonely. But first of all, white people can't be who we don't see, just like everybody else. And when you think about white women, we don't have real role models of what it is to be an anti-racist activist, what it is to participate in interracial sisterhood as a white woman. I mean, like Jane Fonda has been doing some great work in this area. I also really admire Megan Rapinoe and how she's using her platform. But I think we need a whole army of role models to follow. And so that's what's kind of opened up the space for me to step into it. It's just understanding that this voice is really needed.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like, why me? Or I don't know if I can do this today. This is a lot.
It's not so much that, but I definitely when I hear voices that I respect saying, you know, you are taking up too much space as a white woman, or you're not doing this correctly as a white woman, or you're causing harm as a white woman in this space, that this space should only be for women of color. That causes me to retreat and reflect. And that for me is a lot, like, I don't really give a hoot what white people have to say, you know, and I get the whole gamut of, you know, trolls and all of that stuff from white people. But I think what really causes me to step back is when I hear from voices that I respect, saying, you know, why are you doing this?
And how do you, when you say you retreat, how do you deal with it? How do you say, okay, I'm gonna get back up and do this again?
Well, I think because I hear from a lot of other women of color voices saying, please get out there and we need you, and you're doing it correct. And when I make mistakes, they will hold me accountable. But they're like, we need more people like you, and they're extremely enthusiastic and very encouraging. That's what gets me back out there. That and also just seeing my own kids and the impact that it's had on them and their growth totally continuously inspires me to keep going.
The power of community.
Yes, definitely.
Well, thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you.
Now I know that you have a book that's coming out. Can you tell us about that?
So it's called White Women, We Need to Talk.
Tell the people.
My book is called White Women, We Need to Talk, Doing Our Part to End Racism. It's coming out in November 2020. You can pre-order it now. It's on Amazon. And it's going to talk about how do we heal ourselves, heal our relationships, so that we can in turn unite across difference and heal our world. And really helping white women to slay their inner patriarch and know how to follow the leadership of women of color, and how we can show up in the workplace, in the community, in activism space, and yell. You know, I have a whole chapter, show up and yell. Because the time we are in demands that we show up and know how to show up in a way that's going to be helpful.
Love that. Last thoughts. What is your next step? What is, in terms of coming out in this bigger way, on this bigger platform, what's the next piece that's going to come out of hiding? What's the next way you're stepping into your leadership?
Well, I'll be doing a lot of events like the one that you came to in Oakland, because I do think, like, reading a book is great, having online learning experiences is great, but what we really need to do as women is to sit and listen to each other's stories and bridge those divides and form relationships. Like, I say this all the time, I live in a majority people of color region, in a majority people of color state, yet 9 times out of 10 when my white friends invite me to something, it's almost entirely white with a few Asian Americans. And when my black women friends invite me to something, I'm one of maybe 2 white women who are there. And I'm like, we need to get to know each other and hear each other's stories so we can become cycle breakers and transform our society.
So bigger events, I'm hearing.
Yes.
Awesome. And then you can find her book on Amazon. Karen Fleshman, founder of Racy Conversations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. It was an honor to be here with you today. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your service, and thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
And cut. All right.
I think I did that like a normal talk show.
Woman, that felt like a serious talk show.
Awesome.
That was
And it's
great.